Well, this massive march comes 1 week after more than 90% of referendum voters said yes to independence, although the turnout was low. Despite the intense pressure from anti-independence groups and the Spanish government, Catalan's president is reportedly set to stick to that referendum law, which calls for Parliament to declare independence from Spain within 48 hours of the vote being certified. The Catalan government says a parliamentary session is set for Tuesday to update lawmakers on, quote, the current political situation. But it did not mention any possible declaration. So a political showdown over Catalonia could come this week. And to better understand what might happen, let's bring in CNN Global Affairs analyst David Rhode in New York. He is also the online news director for The New Yorker. Good to have you with us, David.
Thank you.
Now, as we saw that huge united rally in Barcelona today, people there saying that together we are stronger. But of course, those voting to leave say financially they're going to be better off if they go. What do you make of it?
I think if, as this continues, it's hurting Spain's economies overall. And I think that there is a concern. You can see that from the size of the crowd about how will this affect Barcelona and the entire region of Catalonia economically. How will the European Union react? The European Union has been very cautious about this. Redrawing borders, leads to instability is the fear. So it's unclear. Supporters of this point to small countries like Andorra. They say that, Catalonia could thrive on its own, but you just don't know. And again, the march today shows how deeply divided public opinion is. Public opinion polls have shown it's almost 50-50% in terms of supporting independence and opposing independence in the region itself.
So, David, if Catalan's leader declares independence on Tuesday when he addresses the parliament there, what can the Spanish leader do? What options are there? He doesn't seem willing to compromise.
He does not. There was an interview today, and the central government is saying constitutionally it has the power to essentially unseat the regional government and to have the national government take control of Catalonia. There's a very good chance I think that would happen. The Spanish government, as we saw with the violence that occurred when the referendum went on, that Spain will not tolerate this. So it's a really dangerous situation. I do think there's a very high chance that Catalonia could declare independence on Tuesday or soon after that. And the Spanish government, the national government, will ignore that declaration and take power. So this could turn very ugly very quickly.
And as you mentioned, the European Union has been pretty quiet on all of this. And the Spanish Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, says this is not just a crisis for Spain, this is a crisis for Europe. So what sort of stance should the European Union take right now?
It's very difficult. I mean, many years ago, I covered the disintegration of the former Yugoslavia, which led to the loss of hundreds of thousands of lives. I don't think that's anywhere near the situation in Catalonia or Spain at this point. But, redrawing borders is extremely complicated, this whole issue of sovereignty and who gets to declare independence and who doesn't. So I understand the caution in Brussels. I think they will defer to the Spanish government if it does crack down. At this point, it's difficult for the EU to get in and dictate the meaning of the Spanish Constitution. So this is a very tense and difficult situation for Spain, which was just recovering from so many economic problems, and now this political division is going to cause, real problems again for people in Catalonia and across Spain.
And in the economy, we're already seeing some of the fallout from that referendum last week, with some companies moving their headquarters out of Catalonia. So what does Catalonia stand to lose from all this uncertainty?
There is concern that a lot of those companies will leave. The projections, there's been papers put out by economists that support independence for Catalonia that say they would have plenty of tax revenues, they could have their own military. There's a real question about, Spain has a very large debt due to its recent economic crises. How much of that debt would be, put onto the Catalan government? What would the Spanish government accept if this were to go through? And again, how does, Catalonia fund an army, pay off the debt, and maintain its infrastructure? It's a very large question.
Yeah, certainly very complex. We'll wait and see what happens this Tuesday. David Rhode, great to have your analysis. Thanks so much.
Thank you.